And one final story that I'm going to leave you with from here in America is another article that was written in the Washington Post and some analysis about life expectancy in America. Now, you would think, look, it's clean air, nice surroundings, okay, healthcare is not the greatest and things like that. But life expectancy in America has actually stagnated and it seems to be falling, especially among the poor. Life expectancy is falling. What's the reason for that? It has led to some debate here in America. Is it poor diet? Is it unaffordable healthcare? What's the reason? Here's a look at that very tricky question.
What is the most basic fundamental rights? The right to life. But in the US, staying alive has become a challenge. We are not talking about gun terror alone. In general, people in the United States of America are reportedly dying prematurely. This has nothing to do with the Wuhan virus pandemic. This Washington Post report claims that life expectancy in the US had fallen even before the pandemic hit. In 2014, life expectancy in the US was 78.9. This was the highest ever. Ever since, the number has been on a decline. The question is why? Isn't the United States the world's most progressive country? Even the most advanced? One with supposedly the world's most advanced healthcare system. Quality of life, we are told, is the highest in the United States. So what is happening to those living in this very country? Why are they dying early? The Washington Post report points at chronic diseases. It claims that chronic illness is killing more people aged 35 to 64 than drugs or guns. It removes twice as many years of life than homicide, overdose, suicides, and accidents. But guess what? Premature death discriminates. The poor, the Post finds, are dying earlier than the rich. It mentions while breakthroughs in technology, medicine, and nutrition should be boosting average lifespans, it has instead been overwhelmed by poverty, racism, distrust of the medical system, fracturing of social network, and unhealthy diets built around highly processed food. In the early 1980s, poorer Americans were 9% more likely to die than the rich each year. The gap grew to 49% in 2000s and to 61% when COVID struck. Here's what's interesting. Even the wealthier communities in the US are dying younger compared to the people of the same age groups in Canada, France, and Japan. The Post claims that people living in a quarter of the US counties are dying at a higher rate than 40 years ago. That's when Jimmy Carter was president. Quick question. What chronic disease are Americans dying of? And why is America not addressing it? Because the factors contributing to these deaths are embedded in US culture and capitalism. For instance, the meals Americans eat are ultra-processed and supersized. Over 41% Americans today are obese. An average American man weighs 200 pounds. An average woman weighs around 171 pounds. This is roughly what men weighed in the 1960s. There is not only a rise in obesity, but also in liver disease, hypertension, kidney diseases, and diabetes. A lot of Americans are succumbing to cardiovascular diseases and cancers. In 2021, life expectancy in America was reported to be around 76.4 years, the lowest since the mid-90s.
And that's it on this episode of This World, coming to you from New York City in the United States of America. I'll be back in Delhi next week and will continue to bring you all the big stories as they are taking place around the world and the top experts to discuss them. But bye for now.